What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another repaint video here on the channel. And as you can see today, we're going to be repainting the new Primal Attack Majungasaurus. So I've been sitting on this one for a while, trying to think what I wanted to repaint it to look like, or what kind of paint apps I wanted to give it. I was thinking maybe I would just, enhance some of the factory stuff again, but the dark green's kind of boring to me, so I wanted to go real tropical with this, real exotic looking. So I started to look around on Google and searching different types of reptiles and stuff like that. Found a picture of an iguana that I thought looked really awesome, and this thing kind of reminds me of an iguana with these little doodads hanging down off of his tail and his neck, like a bearded dragon or something. All right, settle down. I got a picture here that I'm kind of using for like color reference, and not going to make it look exactly like that. We're going to kind of use some creative licensing while I'm doing it, but I'm going to stick with sort of like these like real bright tropical greens and blacks and everything. So we're going to go ahead and get this guy out of the package and get the batteries out so he's not roaring the entire time, and we're going to get started with this repaint. Alright guys, so business as usual. We're starting off with the figure primed in white, and I'm going to go in with Vallejo Model Air Lime Green and start building up that nice tropical exotic lime green skin tone that this thing is going to have. And next up, I'm taking light blue, white, and mixing it in with that Vallejo lime green to make sort of a teal color, and building up some of these nice teal tones on the body. So for the eyeball on this thing, I thought it would look really cool to have just a solid gloss black eyeball, real menacing and real creepy looking, kind of like if it's staring at you through the tropical foliage. It just kind of has that kind of eerie look. So black eyeball is going on this guy, and finishing up the sort of colors on it with this light blue, and I'm painting these little spine things on its tail, on the back of the legs, and the neck. Alright, so this part here is pretty much all going to be with brushwork, and this is going to be all the black details on it. On the tail here, I'm going to do some sort of stripes along the back of the tail, wrapping all the way around. And I kind of thought it would be neat to sort of follow the sculpted detail on it, up here towards where the little spiky things start, just painting every other one. So I was going to paint one and have the black run down into that spike thing, and then skip a couple and then do the one next to it. Just sort of painting inside where the sculpts are on it. It just kind of looks really cool looking. And I was kind of thinking stripes on the tail, and then sort of like a giraffe pattern on the very top part of the back, spreading down into stripes on the sides, and then tiger stripes on the legs. Really cool looking kind of design. And I don't know, I feel like it would kind of break it up and give it really kind of like that natural camouflage in the jungle. So using matte black paint on this, and thinning it down with just a little bit of water to help with flow. You want to really maintain good flow when you're doing stripes and stuff. It really helps you get really clean lines. So you want to make sure that the paint you're using is thinned down just enough to where you can really get those nice crisp lines to pull down. And using a couple different brushes to do it, a fatter brush for the bigger areas, and then for those little thin, crisp tiger stripe lines going down its back, you want to use a really fine tip, thin brush for it. It'll make the stripes look really awesome and stand out. So here on the head, again, just picking out some of the details. It's really just coloring at this point, trying to make it look cool, visually and aesthetically pleasing, but just kind of picking out some of the little pebbles and stuff like that. The hands, I thought the hands would look really awesome if they were just all blacked out and then kind of fading up into little black dots. Just something different. Normally I just paint the claws, and I don't really ever do anything like this, but the black hand looks pretty cool. Now I'm taking Lime Tree Green from Apple Barrel and going back over a lot of these little bumps and spots and stuff, and picking them out with that lime. Really pops on the black. Here on the legs, again, like I said, I was going to do some tiger stripes on the leg, starting off on the knee, and then working my way up, and then working my way back down. But starting with a fatter brush up at the top for the bigger areas, and then switching out to a small thinner brush and pulling that paint down, since it's thin just enough where it's not going to run down the model, but I have good control over it. That helps you get really crisp, thin lines right towards the tip of it. So always keep that in mind. Thin your paints, guys. So again, carrying those black pebble and scale details down to the top part of the head. Primarily, most of them are in black, but just to kind of give it a little color diversity, I am mixing in some different color greens and teal dots just here and there throughout the dinosaur. This is actually a pretty cool looking dinosaur, and to be honest, I had no clue this dinosaur even existed. And believe it or not, I know absolutely nothing about dinosaurs. Everything I know about dinosaurs I learned from Jurassic Park, so that should tell you. But I watched Greg from over at Dino Screams on his YouTube channel. He did a review of this figure, and he's pretty knowledgeable about dinosaurs and reptiles, and he'll give you a little sort of history on each dinosaur that he's reviewing and stuff like that. And he's got a great content on his channel, so make sure you go check him out. But I trust that he is saying the name correctly, and so that's how I learned to say dinosaurs' names that I have no idea how to pronounce them. I'll just go watch Greg's channel and learn something. So Greg, I appreciate everything you do on YouTube. You're the man. So we're going to finish this thing off. I wanted to put a little color in it, and I decided to make its neck red, kind of like it was flushed with blood, just to kind of give it that little extra warmth underneath its neck and a little bit on the sides and on the back of the tail. But to finish things off, I'm going to seal it with that Mod Podge, and I've been having really good luck lately really sealing the figures up with it. Now I actually found this big bottle of Mod Podge, and this is a matte Mod Podge, so it does dry with a matte finish. Not as flat as I would like it to be, but it's not as glossy as the glossy Mod Podge, which is good for insides of mouth, nails, and eyeballs. But this one dries with a nice matte finish, and then I can go back over with my flat sealer varnish and flatten it off if I need to, if it's too shiny. But I'm doing 2 to 3 coats on per figure when I'm doing it, and I'm doing a coat, letting it dry in front of a fan, and then doing another coat, putting it in front of the fan, letting it dry, and then doing a third coat. And that is pretty much sealed up all the paint, and I have very little paint scraping or chipping or anything like that. So that's a good little tip to do, 2 to 3 coats on these things with Mod Podge and make sure that it's dried. But this thing is pretty much done, guys, so I appreciate you all sticking around and watching. Remember, for more Jurassic Park related content, you know where to find me. Links will be in the description box below. You guys take care, and I will see you in the next video.